Another week went by in the AI world. Feels like another fucking 10 years, but in this video, we're actually gonna break down ChatGPT's newest update, now allowing plugins to be added on top of the GPT model. And it's going to unlock an abundance of tools that are gonna change the lives of creators and entrepreneurs alike. And so if you're new to the AI scene, my goal as a creator is to help you learn about the AI world as fast as possible. So I feel like this is basically the cutting edge of what's going on right now. And so I'm gonna break down everything that they announced in this newest update. So without further ado, guys, let's dive right in. So here we are on the OpenAI website. You know, they have their GPT-4 model out, but we're gonna save that for another video because today we wanna talk about the plugins that were released on March 23rd. Now, these aren't for the public just yet. They did release tutorials that are gonna be perfect examples that I can show you today. So let's give you guys a quick breakdown of what they're talking about. So they've implemented initial support for plugins in ChatGPT. Now, plugins are tools that are designed specifically for language models with safety as a core principle and help ChatGPT access up-to-date information, run computation, or use third-party services or websites. As we scroll down here, we can actually see in this beta the different companies that they're going to be working with. Here we got Expedia, we got Instacart, which is a very interesting one for what I'm trying to build in stealth mode right now. So I'm really excited to see what they can do with the food world and how they can figure out how AI is going to insert into that. We got Kayak, which is another transportation and service website. Klarna Shopping. We got Shop as well. We got OpenTable, and a couple really cool ones here is Wolfram and Zapier. So Wolfram is going to be able to do coding, computations, curated knowledge, and real-time data. So you can also input data. We're gonna get back to that in a bit. So these are just the companies that they're working with, but they are also coming out with two of their own plugins, which are just absolute cheat codes, right? So one of them is a web browser and one of them is a code interpreter. Code interpreter is basically going to help any Harvard level student do their homework in a second. So let's hop into these tutorials. So the first example we have here is using the Wolfram, OpenTable, and Instacart all in one. And this is why this model is so insane, because there's so many different examples to show you, but this prompt I feel like has been the perfect first example, right? So we're looking to eat vegan food in San Francisco this weekend. Could you get me one great restaurant suggestion for Saturday and a simple restaurant for Sunday, but just give me the ingredients? Now, also, please calculate the calories for the recipe using Wolfram Alpha, and then also order the food for the actual recipe on Instacart. So this is a multi-level prompt using the plugins that have been added onto the GPT, and let's see what it responds with. So the first thing it does, it finds the OpenTable for the restaurant. It finds the perfect restaurant suggestion. It actually then shows you the recipe for a chickpea salad and all the stuff that you need. It then calculates the calories using Wolfram Alpha to break down exactly how many calories you're gonna be getting on a typical meal like this. As you guys can see here, it goes very, very specifically all the way down to 0.6 of a calorie, which is just fucking insane. And then it goes over to Instacart to actually order the recipe that you need for your meal. Now, if this isn't blowing your mind, I don't know what else will, because off of one message, it was able to find a date, it was able to order you food and create the recipe for that food, and also give you directions to get to the place itself, which is just crazy. So this is just example number one using 3 of the plugins. The video actually ends off with the cart filled out with all the recipes, ready to order, the price ready to go. Pretty nuts, guys, pretty nuts. All right, so the next one is going to be browsing. And this is not just using one website. This is going to use the entire internet as a whole. It's only one plugin, the plugin Alpha, but it's literally using every single source on the internet that is relevant to your prompt. And so in this example, they're asking, how do this year's Oscars winners compare to recently released movies for box office sales? Meaning, compared to the best movies, who's getting the awards? And let's see what it comes out with. So it finds one source here, clicked on it, now it's reading it. Now it's finding another source, clicked on it. And then using the information from both of these sources, it's able to now output a paragraph. And what's beautiful about the output, yeah, the paragraph that GPT just outputted is dope, but what makes it even doper is the fact that it cites the websites per sentence. So if you guys can see here on a quick zoom in, it has the 1 for the first link that he used in the first sentence and 2 for the second link. And this is important because you're going to still need to sort your cites no matter what you're doing. And this is absolutely just doing it all for you. So, all right, so moving on to the code interpreter. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this one, but like I said, it's essentially your tutor, but at a very high level for anything in mathematics or anything to do with any type of calculation as a whole. Now, so for this prompt here, the prompt is plot function 1/x bracket x. And now this is obviously outside of my realm of understanding. It's probably not that hard to understand, but ChatGPT can do it in a second, right? And so for anyone in math up until at least grade 12 learning level, this will be able to just do it all for you. And you know, this is definitely going to just shape how we are understanding education as a whole. Anybody can take their homework now and just type it into GPT and then just get straight A's. So before we move into the next plugin, the next thing that the code interpreter plugin can do is actually understand photos and videos. And so in this example, they actually show a quick logo that has been uploaded to the GPT platform, and it's going to give you a great paragraph explaining exactly what the photo is just to start things off, right? So this is a neo-modernist Python icon in the form of a digital painting. It can tell exactly what type of style of photo it is. It's I don't know how, but it just does, right? So it features a stylized depiction of the Python logo with bold lines and geometric shapes. The color palette is modern and sophisticated with shades of blue, green, and yellow. It's a creative interpretation of the Python logo and a unique piece of art. And then the prompt asks to make it 4 times smaller. Boom, it comes out with that. And then it gets really cool because it starts turning into Photoshop, but all you do is talk to it. So then we turn it into a grayscale, and then from there we send it into a little bit of a green tint. Boom, gets it done in a second. And this is faster than anybody can do it on Photoshop as of today. And so now it's kind of removing the background color, I think. Let's see if it does it. And even though that's a little subtle, if you guys zoom in here, it actually legitimately took away the subtle background tint. And this is something that not even Photoshop sometimes gets done perfectly. And this, from what I see, is pretty damn perfect. And it's been done like that. So, I mean, even Photoshop will be disrupted with this new update. And then boom, you just ask it to give you a download link, and then it just downloads the photo for you. Crazy, crazy stuff, guys. And lastly, we're going to talk about the retrieval. And so this is really interesting. I don't really understand it to a super deep level just yet. I'm still learning about it. But from what I understand, it can just cite specific websites. And so in this example that they show here, it's prompting just using the United Nations website. And so in my opinion, I think this is important for like lawyers or people that need specific guaranteed sites. So maybe even journalists, because then they can show their proof of data. And the other beautiful thing about this is that it can turn that data into tables and graphs on the spot. And so if you look at this prompt here, if we just move back a little bit, the prompt's asking to show how the thinking of like how society's thinking of climate change has evolved over the years. And we asked it to turn that prompt into a graph. And so as you guys can see here, since 2018, it starts to talk about the progression of how society is thinking about climate change. It's mind-blowing stuff, and what makes it even cooler is that the ChatGPT model itself only has information up until 2021, and this model, since it's using other web sources, it's able to extend that knowledge base up until the current date. So it's going to give you relevant information. And so there you go. It created an entire graph dating from all the way back in 2018. You can easily just copy and paste that onto another AI tool, turn it into a PowerPoint, and boom, you have your presentation done in like 3 minutes. Obviously, as a guy that's creating AI tools, this is beyond exciting because it means a whole lot more can be done. And we are doing something to do with food. We're doing something to do with marketing, something to do with SEO. So I'm excited to be building this company out with my dad. So, I mean, you know, we're excited to be continuing to lay out more information as things come out. I mean, my goal at the end of the day is still to inform you guys about what's going on and keep you up to date. And so if this video helped you in any sort of way, this video with a like, subscribe. It's your boy KB. I'll catch you on the next one, which will probably be tomorrow, but we out.